what was a fantastic start, the dream start for Coach Drury on that particular occasion. He was cock-a-hoot there, Tubes. Their coach Lister implored on his charges to make sure whenever the opposition get a goal, let alone 5 in a row, we've got to actually go into man-on-man footy, which I guess is something, Pez, that you would implore on your players.
Absolutely. I mean, Clarence certainly got the upper hand now, so yeah, they'd want to keep that pressure on. Kingston have really got to come out of the blocks this quarter and score quickly.
Okay, so it is Clarence who go forward again. Nice play by Lucas Alexander. It goes against the breeze, and they just decide to really bludgeon that one through and kill it. So it can't be another 6-pointer. And it has been all ruse so far in what has been tipped to be the game of the day. It is the Kingborough Black 14A versus the Clarence 14A combination. They've had a couple of stellar games, but it was Clarence who ended up on top by just those 4 points, but that's one each throughout the regular season. So we were certainly very much looking forward to this particular game, and that was a strong tackle by the Roos. You can see them going in very, very hard as Jackson Lewis is there over the ball, and he's gone over to help his teammate up, and it'll be a boundary throw in.
Yeah, big legs there. Colton Ryan, we were talking about him before. He's just got a good pair of thighs on him. Just the big drivers, just punching the ball forward. Nice work from him to force the ball out.
Absolutely. The ball comes back in now, and you can see there is the prime mover, the skipper and the Beakley medal winner, Mitchell Cook. He's trying his best, as we can see there. It's close to that line. A lovely handball back into play, and Cook decides to come over and push it over. And a little bit of argy-bargy, and that's okay. It's a gladiatorial sort of sport. Those men stand up. You can't do it too much. That one's deemed to be just that fraction high there, gentlemen.
Yeah, good umpiring just to settle the boys down.
It's been good umpiring all day so far, Tubes.
Absolutely, as Jackie Preshaw drives the ball forward for Clarence.
Yes, and it's Clarence now who just get that one over the top. That was Lewis Drury, who's been pretty good early on and kicked that lovely set shot for goal. And they're getting into some dangerous spots in these early stages of the second quarter already. It's a nice handball. Comes back over to Propotny. Propotny drives it down to that excellent area there of uncertainty as Kingborough on the ground trying to scrag their way out of it, held without the ball, but the umpire said play it on, or is he deciding to bring that one back?
He's bringing it back, I think, and I'll tell you what, the Clarence, the Kingborough players there, Maxi College and
it's 50 metres.
50? Well, it was a free kick to who?
Kingston.
Really?
Okay, so it goes all the way back here.
No, he hasn't. Sorry, no, I thought the other umpire was bringing it forward, but he's not.
Okay, so now it's the Tigers who go directly out. That's a lovely strong mark there by Zachary Scott. Scott now, big, long kick down the line, and that has gone out of bounds. I suppose they just got to play it a little bit safe here, Pez, but you'd love to see them take the game on, wouldn't you?
Their ball movement, Kingston's been pretty ordinary, isn't it? They're just kicking to packs. We don't see anyone, leading hard or kicking it wide to someone on their own. So they really need to find the loose man to get some momentum, Kingston. They're sort of just playing straight up and down the lines at the moment. That's falling into Clarence's hands.
Okay, so the umpire, it's really bottled up in this quarter, and to be honest, it would really suit Clarence. They'd be happy to take this sort of lead into half-time because they are against a strong breeze. But, of course, it isn't the breeze that does it for you. It's what's underneath the jumper. You've got to get out there and earn it. And sometimes, Pez, I actually didn't mind playing and then coaching against the breeze. Sometimes the players tend to work that little bit harder and run the ball.
Yeah, well, they do, don't they? And the breeze won't do it for you. You still have to use the ball efficiently, and at the moment, Kingston are falling down that department.
You could see there just grabbing the old onion and then just booting it out, and high and hopeful for that one as Scott picks it up, and now there's a big chance for them, and coming down we'll see what that defences are made of, as that's close to the boundary line. Well played by the Roos. It's now the Tigers who picked that one up as they're trying to push it forward. That was Downey, and great tackle there.
Yeah, good tackle.
As they've been paid that free kick, got the clutches round, and that was nice play by Doyle. Doyle going forward, and it's close to that boundary line. It's certainly been close, very to that boundary line. As Zachary Scott, aka Sideshow Bob, has seen that one out.
Yeah, beautiful work from Scott. He's your epitome of a defender there, just very honest, running at the ball and just kills it when it comes down there. So great work by Zach Scott.
Okay, nice work, pre-short. Can't get the ball, so they're fighting very, very hard, bottling it up. Really working hard is young Jacob Downey there, but he can't come out with the ball, but getting it out to that central area, and now it's Clarence if they can actually pick the handle on it. And that's the one thing, Pez, you really want to see the kids work and work and work, is picking up the ball below their knees.
Yeah, absolutely. One grab players, you can't beat them, and it's a skill that kids really need to work on, is skills below their knees.
Yeah, we won't sort of harp too much, but it is a fascinating thing, because you'll see you'll have set shots and you'll apply the trick shots. But if you just roll the ball against the wall and come in and pick it up, come in and pick it up, that's where the majority of the game is played, and getting nice clean hands. But back to that grand final, and it is Maxi College who sweeps on it, gets it down, and I think it is Mitchell Cook, the captain, the best and fairest, who has bought the Tigers a light pants.
He has, yeah. Great play. I think they just got to keep moving the ball down the line there, Hoppy, and make sure the Clarence don't get their hands on it. The turnovers are going to kill them, but if they can keep their hands on the ball in this quarter, kick another couple, they're in it at half time.
Of course, Mitchell's a big North Melbourne supporter, and his big hero and the most influential person on his career is Brent Harvey, who has just inspired him to go to that next level, Tubes.
Yeah, Boomer Harvey, obviously the 400-game AFL VFL superstar, absolute champion, and I'm sure Cookie there would be very happy to have him, as we see him running it out of the middle again.
Yeah, Cook got that ball from Leicester and unfortunately just dropped the onion on that particular time, but coming out and not giving that one up. As picking it up is Adams, driving it back around. Oh, they'd love a marker, bring it down. That's a cracker of a defensive mark there by Jackson Lewis.
Bit of an athlete, young Jackson Lewis. He plays basketball in the local comp here, and he's a very good basketballer too.
Oh, well, that's all the inside. I know Pants Downey, we mentioned about the recruiting skills of Darren Perry, but you two guys who just spend a lot of time around the halls of Hobart, looking at the basketball around the athletic tracks with the binoculars up. Don't look at me like that, Tubes. There's nothing dodgy about that. Taking their notes.
No, I would love to be a part of it as Clarence pushed it out of bounds on the full, and I tell you what, the Tigers just need a couple of goals here just to make it a bit more interesting. Not that it's a disinteresting game at the moment, but they'd be looking for confidence in this quarter.
Certainly, with 7.5 minutes gone in our second quarter, the Roos with that very, very good opening stanza. They got straight out of the blocks, and they are on 33 to the Tigers 8. And another boundary throw in will come in as umpire Brownless comes round to throw that ball in.
Wonderful work there by Carlton Ryan and Jackie Preshaw on the boundary there. Neither of them taking a backward step, and that's what we like to see.
Well, there's been a whistle on play. Did you guys up in the tower see what happened there?
No, hand on his shoulder when he was going in the ruck there, Max Payne, so he's giving away the free kick.
All right, so Sammy Schultz will take the free kick, and Clarence, Pez, are doing a fantastic job running that ball into the breeze.
Yeah, look, they're doing very well against it. It's probably a 3 or 4 goal breeze, so they'll be really happy with this quarter, Clarence.
Certainly would, as Propotny there picked that ball up, and you might have seen the old left foot, but he's gone the inside out, but it doesn't matter how it got there. It got to that dangerous zone, and Kingborough had only one thing to do, is just belt the living suitcase out of it, and the umpire now has found another free. So you've got to keep those couple of metres from each other there, or there will be a free kick paid every single day of the week. Now that ball comes out to the half back flank as far as the Tigers are concerned. It's been touched, and umpire Brownless will now throw that ball in.
Yeah, Clarence are doing a very good job getting numbers to the footy. I'll be interested to see how they run this game out. If they've got the fitness there, I'm sure their coach Mark Jury would have them well drilled as far as running the games out goes.
Yep, it's the big man, the athlete, the basketballer, does everything according to Pants Down. As Jackson Lewis picks up, he does look a good cut of a lad, goes down towards Stocks. It's now a chance for the Tigers as backing back, taking a timely mark across half black, and they're trying to get that ball moving, get something going as Ashland takes a mark. Ashland wheels around very quickly to a lead up from Jacob Downey, showing a good pace, but couldn't get that Duke around it. And it's Clarence's opportunity to try and clear it a little bit wider. They do. Lucky's a fortune as far as the bounce is concerned, but it only goes as far as the Tigers. And they're just bludgeoning that ball forward, though, Pez. There's not a lot of system.
Yeah, no, they're struggling going forward, and Clarence are defending very well as well. So, you know, Kingston got a lot of work to do. They've got to start mixing it up a little bit and try to get some options up forward.
Certainly do, as Clarence are doing all the right things so far in the grand final for 2015 as they go on the left boot. It's a good spoil there by the defender in Banks, who goes back in to try and give a hand to his teammate as he picks that ball up now. He's trying to sign Salverson now, who Salverson is close to the line, as picking that ball up is Preshaw. Preshaw drives it back, keeping their eye on the ball. A little bit man-handled to Sammy Rose, but it goes off the hands. And again, umpire Brownless will throw it in.
Yeah, good work from Clarence to get numbers to the footy there, Hoppy. They're just running extremely well down towards the to the fall of the ball. So, well-drilled side just running in numbers.
Certainly are at this stage as the Tigers have the run of that ball. But every time, as you've just said, Tubes, that there is a contest, have a look at the numbers of red and white around it. And as soon as they then take possession, I'm impressed by the way they run hard and spread and find space as the big man knocks it down, and Adams with a fierce slinging tackle there brought his opposition to the ground as tapping that over was Propotny, and they are under all sorts of pressure now as that's a really nice tackle there by Sammy Rose as it goes deep into attack. The umpire's blown the whistle and said, no, that's fair enough as far as I'm concerned, Banksy. You go back and take your kick. It might be now, Pez, where you're trying to get it out to that fat side of the ground, and that's the open side.
The play up.
Yeah, switch the side. That's the attacking side, isn't it, Pants?
That's right. It is attacking side there, straight through the corridor and back down the middle. Perfect.
All right, that's a really, really strong tackle there by Downey, and Downey's been rewarded that free kick, and he's going to go from the true centre-half back position. Downey now. He's kicked that ball with a beautiful, long, raking kick coming over the back to the skipper in Cook, who fumbled, but he's just good enough to go back and get it. That's a really quick transfer of play. Unfortunately, that last kick has gone high, wide and handsome at the 11 or 12-minute mark now in the second quarter. It's the Roos 33, the Tigers 8. It is the under-14A grand final, Kingborough Black versus the Clarence Roos.
Blakey Sculthorpe down there for full forward for the Kingborough Tigers is absolutely being worn like a glove by Zachy Scott down there at the fullback position. Beautiful work from Zach.
So that was Jesse the hyphen Cooper Campbell who tried to get that kick in, but great smother by the Roos. Desperation stakes here, and you can see, you can look in their eyes and their nostrils are flaring, they're getting wider, they're aroused, they're up and about, and they know this is a grand final. It's theirs to be for the taking if they can just push on and keep this sort of form of football going, as Oscar Shaw took that one and a good smother. They're doing all the team things. I love that, even that shepherd there, Pez, by Jordan Upton. They're prepared to do the hard yards for each other.
They're obviously very well drilled because they give the hands off, they shepherd, they do all those little things that normally go unnoticed, and that's why they're such a good team. And now Kingston are really struggling to get any system. It's probably because of the pressure that Clarence are putting on them.
Yes, it is at this stage. So 13 minutes gone. There's the Roos 33, the Tigers 8. Boundary throw in coming in. Forcing his way to the front of the pack there was Schultz, who got that tap out. And then it was a very strong tackle there by Sammy Groves across half back. There was no clear opposition, so they just decided to boot it on as Jackson Lewis just sprints over that ball, and a magnificent pick up by him by hand, and he's going to get the give and go as he now drives it towards that danger area, but in his pace it's just gone through for the minor score as Oscar Shaw was on the lead. And
great passage of play that wasn't like they'll just use each other up. They'll give the hands quickly, receive it and run on. They don't even think about it, so a very well-drilled team.
Yeah, a lot of confidence in your teammates to do that, I reckon.
Yep.
There's a couple of players that are getting plenty of the onion there, Pants. Would you decide to do any with run with rolls?
Probably one move that I'd probably make is, I haven't seen much of Colton Ryan lately. Maybe put him on the ball.
Yep.
The young boy can run and he knows when to get the ball. Probably a change I'd make there, Hoppy.
Okay, and Also, it's just a simple philosophy of as soon as the opposition get it, you've got to be, as we talked about before, Pez, of the awareness of where your man is.
Yep.
So now that was a lovely mark there by little Jack Silver. He's a live wire around goal, the little left footer. I remember Choose one game we called together when he was very creative around there and kicked 5 goals.
Yeah, brilliant work. He's a brilliant little player. Be interested to see how he finishes out this game.
All right, so boundary throw in, getting close to half time, and I tell you what, that might be the time for you and I, Tube, to refuel. It's a very long day, but enjoyable day here at the TCA Oval, as that kick has gone hard and low towards the Domain Athletics track end and through for the minor score. As the siren has sounded, there it is, and it is the Roos, 5-5, 35 goals to Shaw, Green, Lewis, Sorwood and Drury. To the Tigers, 1 goal, 3-8, and that goal came by the inspirational skipper Mitchell Cook. Pez, it has been a very, very good opening stand there by the Roos.
Yeah, look, they've been very impressive. As I said, they're playing for each other. Really good team footy, good pressure, and they use the ball well going forward. They use each other up, their vision, looking for their teammates is excellent. Where Kingston are just playing up and down the tram lines. They're sort of not being creative in the way they use the footy. So, you know, they just have to have a think about that and just try to get some scoreboard pressure on, because if they don't next quarter, it's going to be very difficult from there on in for them.
You can see their faces, their pants. They look a little bit forlorn, but they've got to get their eyes up and very much stay positive.
Yeah, they've been in this position before this year, Hoppy, and I'm sure they can come out after half time, maybe get a rocket up them. But they are playing well, just not putting it on the scoreboard, and not enough pressure on Clarence.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Tigers trailing the Roos at half-time. A pretty commanding lead, but anything can happen in STJFL football, or football in general, because I remember as a young man in 1970 when the champagne corks were popping in the Collingwood rooms and the great Teddy Hopkins came out and set the game alight. So has Kingborough Tigers got a Teddy Hopkins amongst them. I hope you'll stay tuned and enjoy the second half, as we'll come back to you shortly. Don't go too far away.